As the clubs get set to renew their rivalries, the Hard Tackles offers tips to build and strengthen your fantasy Premier League squads. The new Premier League season is set to begin, and with it, every fan's aspirations of honing his skills by pitting his team against the others in the world. And we at the Hard Tackle aim to help you in your mission to be the best among the lot. The squad for the first game week is a tough one to call. So, instead, we have come up with some names that you should keep an eye on and some that you should definitely have in your initial squad. The perennial kings. Here we name some of the players that have been owning the Fantasy Premier League for a while and should, in all fairness, continue to do so this season. While there are several such players, we shall only present our picks from the lot. David De Gea, goalkeeper, £5.50. The Roaring Red Devil. Picture courtesy at Getty Images. The Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year for 3 successive seasons. David De Gea is one of the best custodians in the world. And while the player recorded only 136 points last season, expect the tally to increase, with a better backline to protect him this season. Michael Keane, central defender, £5.50. A player that earned plaudits for his defensive overtures and saw him make the senior squad for England as well. The player amassed 113 points last season for a Burnley side, and you can expect him to ramp up the points this season under the tutelage of Ronald Koeman at Goodison Park. Joel Matip, central defender, £5.50. Another player that shined in his debut Premier League season, despite not receiving as much points in the Fantasy Premier League as others. 97. The player was arguably the bargain of the season, and with a season under his belt, expect him to put in similarly impressive shifts at the back. Sadio Mane, winger, £9.50. The main man. Picture courtesy at Getty Images. One of the big buys for the fans this season, Sadio Mane had a remarkable debut season at Anfield, and his significance is shown by the Reds' struggles to find results in his absence. The explosive winger will be key to Liverpool's fortunes again, and we can expect him to turn in some absolute blinders. Nathan Redmond, winger, £6.50. Another winger who was vital to his team's fortunes last season. Nathan Redmond is one of the rare players who have not been linked with a move to a bigger club this summer. Mauricio Pellegrino has already done a commendable job at Alaves, and we can expect him to do a similar job at St Mary's. Redmond, though, will surely be at the heart of it, and he could be one of the surprise contenders for a spot in England's World Cup squad. Romelu Lukaku, forward, £11.50. Undoubtedly a heavy investment, but you can expect this move to pay a similarly positive dividend. Lukaku came close to becoming the top scorer at Everton, and with an improved squad at Manchester United, expect the Belgian to rack up goals in a jiffy. Harry Kane, forward, £12.50. The Prince returns to defend his throne. Picture courtesy at Getty Images. The promised Prince of England's forward line, Harry Kane, is slowly becoming the king of the Premier League. The player topped the scoring charts in the league last season, and with Tottenham not delving much into the transfer market, the onus will be on Kane to deliver the goods, again. Matt Phillips, WBA, winger, £6. The player completely took everyone by surprise, and was one of the standout performers for West Brom as Tony Pulis weaved his magic at yet another club. With a season under his belt, the player will be expected to excel further. Joshua King, forward, £7.50. Despite the arrival of Jermaine Defoe, Joshua King is expected to be the flag-bearer of Bournemouth's attack. The player did not leave the club despite links to Tottenham and other clubs, and is set for another blistering campaign. The new wave. Here we look at some of the new entrants into the league who may create a splash. Again, there are many summer arrivals. We have just listed our choices. Matthew Ryan, goalkeeper, £4.50. The Australian international has been entrusted by Chris Hughton to guard the Brighton goal, snapping him up from Valencia. And the young custodian himself would be looking to prove himself in the cutthroat league. Brighton's objective will be survival, and Ryan's form will directly dictate whether they are able to achieve it or not. Charlie Taylor, fullback, £4.50. Arriving from Leeds United on a free transfer, the player is regarded as one of the best up-and-coming fullbacks of the country. And with Burnley looking to consolidate their place in the top flight, expect Charlie Taylor to produce a more than decent debut season. Davy Proper, midfielder, £5.50. The main man for PSV, he arrives at Brighton for a club record fee, something that is enough to show how highly the club rates him. Brighton will need some proper control in the midfield to excel this season, and Hughton will look towards the Dutchman to provide just that. Will Hughes Watt, midfielder £5, one of the most highly rated English youngsters right now. The player had been tipped to make it to the top flight for many seasons, with several top clubs linked with the player. However, Marco Silvaco have moved quickly this summer to acquire his services. And, with the youngster out to prove himself in the top flight, this could be the season he announces himself to world football. Sead Kolasinac, fullback £6, a bold start to what could be the beginning of a great chapter. Picture courtesy of Getty Images. The Bosnian has signed for Arsenal on a Bosman deal and has already shown in the pre-season and the Community Shield that he will prove to be a handful going forward, while his defensive solidity is yet to be put to test. Expect him to sparkle. The chance Timothy Fosu-Mensah cry, utility player £4.50. Here we have one player who everyone feels has the potential to be a superstar. And now, he has the chance to live up to it, having been reunited with his former boss Frank de Boer at Crystal Palace on loan. This may just be the season for Timothy Fosu-Mensah to rise from a budding player to a recognised talent. So the hard tackles initial FPL team looks like this: goalkeepers De Gea, Ryan, defenders Keane, Matip, Kolasinac, Fosu-Mensah, Taylor, midfielders Proper, Main, Redmond, Hughes, Matt Phillips, forwards Lukaku, Kane, King, balance nil.